This is a Glassbox Media podcast.
For sure. But I was on the way to Disneyland with Amy and Emerson, and we decided that we should all go see Cats as a group.
Oh my
Because
God.
I think it'll be hilarious. Okay, hear me out. Let's have some drinks before we go.
Oh, no.
A
And then
big
we all fall
group.
asleep
Oh,
snoring.
it's gonna be amazing.
That's what happened to me in 50 Shades. Remember?
There's no way you can fall asleep in Cats. It is gonna be such a spectacle.
Dude,
Come on.
I fell asleep during God, that Terminator movie with one of the dude faces in it. It was literally the loudest movie. Adam got so angry with me because I guess I had fallen asleep within like the first 5 minutes, and he's like, "How did you literally just take a $20 nap?"
Wow.
It was the
Like, they must
loudest.
have been fucking tired.
Well,
bro.
and also, like, any of the new Terminator movies are
I'm like,
shitty.
don't worry about how I spend my money.
Exactly.
Yeah, back up.
Better back up. You better put some respect on my name.
Okay, so I basically live at Disneyland now.
Yeah, you're always
I've
jealous.
been 3 times in the last 3 months.
I think we need another girls trip. That was
For sure,
fucking the
super
best.
fun.
I know.
But we went to Galaxy's Edge. It was real cool. It was really cool. It was so immersive. Like Disneyland, just they do such a good job of like
Theme.
and
They
yeah,
get it. They
attention
really
to
get it.
detail is like so impressive. And yeah, we went to the cantina. We had a good time. We did the new Millennium Falcon ride.
Looks
Which was
so
cool.
fucking cool.
I mean, it was cool, but like
Was it smacked in the mouth? It didn't look too busy.
it wasn't super busy. I mean, the cantina like sold out like immediately. Like Amy got us reservations, and then I went to get us reservations as well, just in case we wanted to go like a different time or whatever. And literally, I tried to do it 10 minutes after she did it. All of the slots were
They were like, no.
full. Yeah, they were like, no.
They're like, no, show up on time.
Yeah. Oh, and they are strict about that shit because we like got because the line was long and getting to the cantina, so we like got in line at like 11 because our reservation was for 11:15, and they like came around. They're like, "What time's your reservation?" We were like 11:15. They were like, "Come back at 11:15. Get in line at 11:15."
Whoa.
Damn.
But Smuggler's Run was like, I think it would be cool if you were the pilot or the co-pilot because it's interactive. Like they make you do shit. Like everyone has a different job and you have to like push buttons and switch switches and shit. And so if you're not in the front, you're not facing forward, or like the stuff you have to do is off to the side.
Okay.
So you can't like really enjoy what's happening in front of you. And also the ride lasts longer depending on like how good or bad your pilot is.
Oh, shit.
And our pilot was this adorable little girl.
Aw.
So cute, but like couldn't reach some of the buttons. So she couldn't hit like all of the buttons. So like ours didn't last that long, but it was still fun.
Aw.
Yeah. So there's my review.
This isn't fair.
Oh, the kid next to me was a little shit.
Oh, yeah.
Because we did single rider, and this kid also did single rider. So he went with me, and he wasn't part of the family that was in there with us. You can hear it on my video. He was screaming the whole time, "Push that button!" He was yelling at me. I was like, "Sir."
First
like
of
an
all,
11-year-old boy. I was like, "Back up."
You better put some respect on this name.
Exactly.
Back up. Taste this hand.
And then I talked mad shit about him when I got off, and his parents were like behind me. I was like, "Well, you should know your kid's shitty.
Your kid.
You got a shitty kid."
and the parents said nothing to you.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
"We know.
We know.
We live with him every day. Why do you think we did single rider? We didn't want to be in there with him."
Ouch. Hot take.
Disneyland brings out the truth.
Ooh, doesn't
I
it?
love
For
like
real.
I love the Disneyland day. Like, you know, because
Yeah.
everyone gets there and they're like, it's magical. It's so beautiful. And everyone's having like a great time. And then you can like slowly see throughout the day as like parents and children
Lose
are
it.
getting more tired
Yeah.
and like
Hungry.
overheated and like hangry.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they just start fucking like yelling at each other.
It's the most magical place on earth
Oh, but it's the best.
to
It's
kill
the
your
best.
family.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, what's going on?
I'm about
we
to leave
got that.
town.
Yeah.
I am restless leg syndrome because I still don't have a job yet. So I am just fucking want to go run around the block 50 times because I don't know what to do with my hands. It
I
is
hear
the most
you.
boring thing in the world to not be working.
Well, speaking of restless leg syndrome, looked like I was beaten about the legs.
Oh,
You really do. You look like you were caned in the shin.
No. It is kind of date related because I came over to hang out with Cassie last night, just take a dip in the pool really quick before a date last night. And I was like, I'm not going to get my hair wet, but we're just chilling, drinking at the pool, laughing, having a good time.
An old
And
lady swim.
Yeah.
You know, just head above water.
Exactly. And so I go to get out, and the tiles around your pool, when they're wet, are like ice. They're
Slick.
very, very slick.
Yeah.
When I fell in slow motion, scraping my shin from knee to ankle along the side, and completely submersed, by the way, about 45 minutes before I had to go be on a date. We had to,
That was
we had to
fun.
go into attack mode on that one. I'm like,
that the
I'm
weirdest?
bleeding, my hair's wet.
It's the weirdest feeling whenever you're like starting to fall or like
It
you
was-
know you're going down and you can't stop yourself. Like
It was literally in slow motion. It was like, whoa, splash. Exactly. I swear it was that long. I swear it was
And
that
we
long.
laughed so hard for like the longest time too. It was too much. But yeah, we did manage to get my hair blow dried and make me look somewhat presentable.
how was the
For-
date?
I mean, it was like meh. It was fine.
So was this a first date with somebody?
Yeah. It was the first date. It was like
Really? Just meh?
just meh.
Oh,
yeah.
That's too
yeah.
bad. Restaurant? Was that nice?
The place was actually really nice. It was super close too, which was cool. But yeah, I've just been having a bunch of like meh dates lately.
Not good, not bad.
Not good, not bad, not entertaining enough. Nothing, no shenanigans happened. So yeah,
No, he wasn't worth blow drying your hair for.
I know. But then
You could have
I-
stayed in the pool.
exactly.
Wouldn't have fucked up your leg.
I know.
There was a tweet going around that was asking if your life, which board game best describes your average daily life?
Oh Jesus.
Probably life. That's how boring my life is. It's just like
Just going around the board,
then
collecting.
this thing happens, then this thing happens. I actually low-key really liked that game when I was a kid. It made me feel like I was like playing house.
Which board game best describes your
So
life?
Article Group is the one who posted it, and it says, what if your average normal day-to-day life was a board game? What would it be called? That's my challenge to y'all.
Probably Sorry.
It says first board. Okay,
You're just
so
fucking people up and you're like, sorry,
here's,
sorry
for
about you.
example,
Sorry.
I'm sorry, but don't understandy land. It's Candyland, but Gumdrop Pass is actually a conference call with poor sound quality.
Oh no,
Oh.
that's depressing.
That's a lot to think about. Or
That's so sad.
Millennial Monopoly.
Well,
Accumulate
yeah, you can't
avocados
play
instead of buying
shit.
property and pay off student loans.
Yeah,
Oh God.
yeah, that's
That sounds
probably
about right. Yeah.
that's probably
Oh,
me. Not
this
can't
is
do
all
shit.
Very depressing. Guess who microwaved fish in the office?
Oh.
Spoiler alert! It's always Karen. Karen.
Poor people named Karen.
I
Those
know.
Karen memes are wild.
I
They're out of
know.
control.
Oh my god, the therapist memes that are going around. Did you
Oh,
see the
those are
one I
amazing.
posted?
I know, I did. Well,
We've got
We are.
the after more than 200 bad dates, this woman is marrying her dog.
I saw that on a group.
Someone posted it on our
is that a
Facebook
real
group.
thing?
Yeah, apparently
I mean, I hope so.
How do we feel about that?
Former model Elizabeth Hode has taken a different route. She plans on marrying her dog.
I feel like I can't roll my eyes any louder. Is what I think about that.
Yeah.
She tried finding a regular guy to date and potentially marry, but all of the 200 plus men she went out with just didn't fit the bill. In fact, many of them were downright awful. Because of this, her dog Logan has become her best potential partner. She told The Sun, I've had 220 dates in 8 years from 6 dating sites, and it's generally been a disaster. I thought it would be a good idea to marry Logan instead.
Did you think it would be a good idea? Okay, here's the thing about this. It's like, why though? Like, why do you need to get married to anything?
Right.
You could just
Why can't you
have
just be
your
single?
dog.
Why is it that?
Why can't you just be a single person who enjoys
Is
just
it
being
really-
single and having your dog?
Yeah,
Like why
really,
can't you just be that?
You hate like the thought of being single and alone is
worse
so
than
terrible to you that
Being
you're
legally married
to a dog.
To your
I mean, it's not
dog.
legal, I guess, but like having a ceremony to bind you to your dog, like it just doesn't make any sense to me because I'm just like, I understand what you're saying. The company of your dog is better than these 200 dates you went out on. Fine. I feel like probably a lot of people feel that way, but that doesn't mean that you should marry it.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Well, she's been engaged twice before, and it just never worked out. She's pretty sure she can find a Catholic priest to perform her ceremony.
I don't know that you can.
I think the dog has to be Catholic too.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to go to
So
like,
catechism.
Yeah.
Yeah, catechism classes.
don't you have to go
Yeah.
to that like couples counseling,
yeah, that's
church
part
mandated
of it.
like
yeah.
couples
Yeah.
counseling with your dog? How's
Yeah.
that? What's that going to look like?
And then I guess he's got groomsmen. His buddies Ajax and Bear will be best men.
I can't.
Who is going to this wedding? What would you do
This
if your
actually
friend?
somewhat angers me.
Yeah, honestly,
so-
I'm surprisingly like this brings up a fury I didn't expect.
Same. Like the objects thing, I can almost be like, okay, like I almost feel sorry for those people. This feels like the biggest grab for like, feel bad for me because I'm single. Like I just, it's
Well, and
so
and
desperate,
also,
and
like,
pathetic sounding. Like
don't-
it's not. This isn't cute.
Don't
Like, you're
force
just-
this shit on your dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dogs
Well,
are
don't
not
force
objects.
this
like,
shit on the people that know you too.
also
You
that
don't
I'm not
live in a
going to your
vacuum.
fucking wedding. You know, I
I
don't
would
know.
go to the chandelier wedding first. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I definitely am sipping tea at that one.
I would
Watching.
much rather go to the
Pinky
chandelier
up.
wedding than somebody who's like, I'm gonna marry my dog because I just can't find any boys who like me.
Then just stay single. I also hate this
It's a bad
mentality.
look. It's a bad look. That desperation or whatever. It's not good.
It don't look good.
And when are we going to get to a point where, like, why is it that for whatever reason she thinks in our society that being single is a worse look than marrying your
That's
dog?
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, why is that such a tragic thing? Like,
Yeah.
maybe just embrace, eat, pray, love, bitch. Go, like,
right.
figure your shit out or something. Take your dog on a backpacking adventure. Like, do something
Right.
else. Like,
Go on
Yeah.
a hike, bitch.
Yeah.
Like,
honestly, take a boxing class. Jesus Christ.
I
I am surprisingly
I'm
upset about it.
I am seriously more spicy about this than necessary. I think it may be because I'm a little hot.
and
yeah,
just
we are
general-
warm.
yeah,
It's a million
hot.
degrees outside.
And it's just, I feel like it's kind of, it's just weird because I'm like, I'm out here dating and it's not that it's fun, but it doesn't really like suck either. I'm like,
Sure.
if it sucks and I hated it, I wouldn't do it because
Right.
I'm, that
But you're not
person. I
going to
don't
marry Tig.
No.
You know what I mean?
Oh
You'll
my
just
God.
you'll just hang out with us more.
Exactly.
Like, that's it. Like,
yeah, if I
this
don't,
bitch needs
when
I
girlfriends.
was just gonna say that this bitch needs friends.
yes.
She needs friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, where are your girlfriends at?
She needs
like,
friends.
Jesus, you need one honest friend that's like, no.
I'm like that.
What
girl,
would you guys?
girl.
Oh my god! Are you permission to smack me?
Just
if I ever
granted.
came
I,
up-
you know what? Like
What?
this is the thing. It just like I said, it sounds so desperate and grabbing for attention that like I can't even with it. Like
Yeah.
it literally is making me just like angry.
I mean,
Like
true.
oh, this is gonna go viral.
Real
I'm gonna
talk.
marry my dog.
Like, real talk though, like, what would you do if it was your friend or your daughter? Like, and they were like, so I just wanted to sit you down and let you know
well,
me and puppy dog are gonna get married. Like, what would you do? Like, what would you do? Like, we would have to, I feel like we would need to
we
all
would
get
do
together.
it like an
Intervention.
intervention.
yeah, and have a conversation about how to handle it.
I'd be like,
I
first
want to
of all,
be
I'm
a fly on
concerned
the
about
wall
your
for
dog.
that group chat.
I want to be first and foremost to say that I'm concerned for Tig.
Yeah.
So that's the conversation. Has Tig consented to this? Because you know my feelings about consent,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like this might be problematic.
I
And
agree. Agree.
So,
I would agree. Yeah.
I understand what your feelings are, but I don't know. I just feel like Tig needs a say in this, and since he cannot, you cannot.
I mean, and also
No.
just marriage brings about like really weird
Also, go see your
mental
therapist.
images, because it's just like, not that I want to be gross about it, but like, are you going to consummate this marriage? Like, what are you doing? No, seriously.
no.
But seriously, because whenever we talk about objectum sexuals, that's what they say. They're like, yeah, I fuck this chandelier. So it's just like, why?
But nobody gets hurt there.
No, I agree with you.
I mean,
she might get hurt.
exactly.
Well,
There's a lot
chandeliers
of
are pointy.
pointy.
That's true.
Yeah.
My point being, though, is that like the chandelier
No,
doesn't.
I understand. I'm just saying, like, do people not realize like that's what people are gonna think when you say you're marrying your dog?
I hate
It's
all
so
of this.
gross.
Anyway,
Oof.
sorry, I had to ask.
Really screwed the
Listen.
pooch.
Where did that expression come from?
I was
Do you ever
just
think that?
thinking that, and I was like, you know what? They have that. There's a podcast called Away with Words that I'm like, I'm kind of interested to see if they've ever covered that.
Yeah,
one.
surely
Yeah.
it came from something.
Oh, well,
I want to know.
or not.
Oh no.
I don't know.
I hope it didn't come from somewhere.
I know.
Let's just hope.
Yeah.
Moving along.
Yeah. Fuck, marry, kill.
Yeah.
Ooh, wait. First, this is my worst date. I'm Cassie,
I'm Keegan.
And I'm Christina.
and
We got a
have
new patron.
We do.
Her name is Liz Meyer. Thank you so much. We had a kind of calamitous morning today with I definitely want to apologize for all of you guys that went to download our episode last Wednesday and only got the teaser clip. That's on me, so my apologies. But then getting that email that we got a new patron immediately made me feel better. So I personally want to say thank you to Liz and welcome to the family. We'll get your
Welcome.
button and
Sticker out to you soon.
Yeah.
So that will be, you should be receiving that soon. We're so excited to have you. It honestly like fills me with so much joy every single time we get a new patron. So we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And yes, to everyone on our Facebook.
wow, that
I
blew
woke up this morning. I was like, tech support.
I know. Because I slept in. Listen, I have a sore throat. I took some NyQuil before I went to bed, so I was out until like 8:30 this morning, and then I got like all of your text messages, and then I got on Facebook, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
I
It's like
know.
our Facebook blew the fuck up.
It was overwhelming.
I
was like,
was
oh my
getting
God.
friend requests and messages. I mean, it was like all day Facebook, Twitter, Instagram across the board. I was like, I'm so sorry.
Is anybody else
We're
seeing
so
this?
sorry.
Is anybody else getting this?
No, what you know what though? It's the same thing with anything that's ever happened with MFM.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
always,
for sure.
It's the first place I go. Like, where the fuck's the episode? Why isn't it up yet? I always go to Drinkerinos and be like, anybody else having this problem?
Is it
I
just
start looking,
me?
scrolling through,
Yeah.
and be like, does anybody else have this issue? Where's your fucking episode at?
I know, and I don't have a Steven to yell at, so I was just like,
Christina.
It's
Damn
okay.
it.
That shit happens, dude. That shit happens. It's all good.
Yeah. So, well, we did get in the midst of all the Facebook shenanigans today. We did get some really good fuck, marry, kill suggestions.
Yeah.
But I want to do science daddies.
Science daddies. I love it that she called it that.
Fucking was rolling.
Yeah.
Wait, this is from
It's from Rachel,
Yeah.
I believe. Rachel Esquivel, who is our like number one on our Facebook group.
I know. I'm about to make this girl a moderator.
Honestly,
Seriously.
legit. But so she
Rachel, let us know.
Oh yeah.
Just
let us know if you're down.
If you're down to be a moderator, we'll sign you up.
She said that we should do Bill Nye, Carl Sagan, and
Neil deGrasse
Tyson.
I've been thinking about it all
Science
day.
daddies.
So Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
Tyson, is that right? Why does it sound wrong coming out of my mouth?
That's right, I think.
Yeah.
He's a hot take right now, right? Like,
Yeah, he's kind of hashtagging me too.
Oh,
That's what I've
did he
heard.
get grabby?
He got grabby.
Yeah.
He seems a little grabby.
Yeah.
He does kind of put off a little. There's something behind those eyes, and I'm like,
It's a little grabby. Yeah.
okay. Well,
And-
that's good to
and-
keep in mind. I did meet Bill Nye once. He was very nice.
I'm
me.
probably gonna have the hottest take on this.
I think
I'm gonna go for it. I'm just
Oh,
gonna wing
okay.
it.
we might be the same.
Okay.
Oh shit. Okay.
I kind of have a crush on Bill Nye.
Me too.
I think that I don't know how to explain
Skinny,
it.
tall.
I'm gonna marry him.
I had a crush on him back
when I was a kid.
in the when I was a kid. I was like, he's so smart and he's kind of cute and nerdy.
And
funny.
you know what?
Mm-hmm.
People, I've talked to other people who have like had encounters with Bill Nye, and they're like, I've met people who didn't think he was nice, but I thought he was so nice. I met him over at the Laurel Tavern. He was there.
Of course, we always meet people at Laurel.
And I like asked him, I was like so nervous because I hate going up to celebrities, it makes me so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so I asked him for a selfie with our friend Amy and like went to take it, and he like took my phone from me and like took it himself. And he was like super, super sweet about it. He drinks gin. Just so you guys know.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
But yeah, he was so nice. Like, so yeah, I'm on board with that. I think it's a good take.
I'm going to marry him.
I'm gonna marry Bill Nye.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to kill Neil, and I'm gonna fuck Carl, I guess.
Carl Sagan looks like he fucks like the 70s.
Ew.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
There's
He
more
fucks,
people.
Yes.
he fucks like the joy of sex.
Yes. I was going to say that.
The Kama Sutra, and we're gonna try it all. We're like page 35.
But
We're
you
gonna roll
know,
a dice,
like,
one of those
low-key.
big dice from like Dungeons and
Fuzzy
Dragons.
dice.
The Dungeons and Dragons.
the
dice.
multi-sided.
And he's gonna be like, "This is the page that we're doing today."
Oh fuck yes! It's like 120 sided dice.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
No, like honestly, I think I'm the same as you because there's something about Carl Sagan that's like
He's
like-
doing some weird stuff on
Yeah.
shag carpet
he's
to
like
you.
70s. He's like 70s
He's got a swing in his
nerd,
house.
hot. Because he's like not hot, but he's like 70s nerd
Yes.
vibes, but like also kind of like the truth is out there vibes.
Yes.
Like I kind of dig it. He's like a very, very nerdy Fox
And
Mulder.
he says, "Can you dig it?"
And he says that.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
yes.
Yeah, he does.
Yes. He's got probably one of those stickers that's like, if this van's a rockin',
Yeah,
don't come and knock
come
it.
and knocking.
Gives me a little bit of the vibe of like Matthew McConaughey's character
Yes.
in Dazed
All
and
right, all right,
Confused.
all right.
Yes.
All right.
Which is low key gross, but also,
also-
like the seven. That's the
That's the
70s.
70s.
And I say the same age.
All right. But yeah, so low
Yeah, but
key.
he's like, of all three of them, like he's the one who's like, yeah, aliens, kind of.
Yeah.
So I'm
100.
like, I like that. I think I like that. I'd fuck that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up with all those books in my house. My dad was a big Carl Sagan fan.
Yeah.
And
mine too.
so I'm embarrassed to say that when I saw those pictures, I was like, "Who is that?" I should have known immediately.
Yeah, no, I love that
Shag
we're
and wagon.
actually. You thought it would be the hot take. We're all on
We're
the
in
same
sync.
page.
Yeah.
we're
shit.
in sync.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at us.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, because there is something about Bill Nye that I'm like, he seems solid.
Yeah.
You know?
But also, I kind of want to fuck him.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you get to a lot
lot if
when
you're
you're
married to
married.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got like real progressive takes, like
Yeah.
And I like
on
that.
shit, and he
Maybe
breaks
that-
it down using science,
Yeah.
which makes it much
Science.
harder to refute.
And it's
I
the
love it.
kind of science that I like. If I'm going to pick the sciences, it's more in my stream of sciences that I enjoy. He seems to be more kind of like a Kim nerd
Oh,
slash
yeah.
like earth sciences, whereas like Carl Sagan's more space science, and that is not my thing at all.
If
Yeah.
deGrasse Tyson wasn't so grabby, I mean,
Oh yeah.
wouldn't have anything against him if he wasn't like a
There's
low-key creep.
something about the way that he talks too, where he like talks very mansplaining.
condescending.
Now, granted, he's way smarter than me, so
100.
of course, like he knows a lot of stuff. But just I'm like, but you don't have to talk to me like
right.
I'm a
Like
kid.
I like watching him school people
It's
I don't
literally one of my
like,
least favorite.
right.
but I would not want to be married to him because
You know he would do that in real life.
yes,
Oh,
and
totally.
he is like the combination of someone who's mansplaining and way smarter than you is awful because it's also like you can never really defend yourself.
correct, correct.
You know, because he's always going to out think you
Yeah,
and also be shitty about it.
right.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm convinced. So
Yeah. You're probably right.
Yeah.
yeah.
You are probably right about that. So yeah, I think we chose correctly. We all chose
I'm happy with
correctly.
this.
Yes, agreed. Thank you so much for that like bomb ass.
What was
fuck,
the
marry,
other?
kill.
What was the other one that was posted? Oh,
was
the
like the
Trinity
sweetest-
of wholesomeness or
Yes.
something.
Trinity of wholesomeness,
Or
which
it was-
we've already done, kind of.
Yeah, because
But
it
it
was
was-
Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
Which we have done.
Love your
Bob
neighbor.
Ross.
And then
Bob Ross, Love Yourself, and Steve Irwin, Love Animals.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we kind of did that.
Well,
I'm here to do another take.
We've done Mr. Rogers before, but this one's actually really, really hard.
Someone posted pictures, by the way, of FaceApp Mr. Rogers with a beard. Smoking hot. Ridiculous hot.
Mr.
Have you not
Rogers
seen these photos?
With a beard is hot.
Holy cow.
I almost shared it with
like,
you guys because I was like,
what?
surprised. I was taken aback.
Where is it on our
I'm not gonna lie, I'm
page?
gonna fuck Bob Ross because I got that same 70s shaggin' wagon vibe.
Oh, he
For
definitely.
sure. Any
Run your
white,
hands through that fro.
I was gonna say any
You like
white
one of
man
your
who
French
rocks
girls.
that kind of fro, I'm like, hell yeah. Yeah. You're gonna fuck in
I'm here
his
for it, daddy.
studio. Yeah, on the on a tarp.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
And he made sangria.
He is gonna. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. And you're gonna smoke a doobie.
You are definitely smoking out.
A doobie though.
Yeah,
Not a joint.
not a
You're
joint.
gonna smoke some reefer and a doobie.
And a doobie. Oh my god,
I am not fucking Irwin. I'm sorry.
dude,
He
he fucks with
is-
gators, man.
I
He
would
seems
fuck him.
Wild.
Yeah.
He seems wild.
Yeah.
He's doing crazy
He's
stuff.
doing crazy shit.
People
yeah.
that
And
put
he's
their
taking you on
hands in gators'
adventures.
mouth.
That's true.
He's
Ugh.
taking you on adventures too. Like that motherfucker. You're
Yeah.
gonna fucking some really like
But I feel like I know his
fantastic
wife,
places.
so I feel guilty about it. Also,
Well, I mean,
I don't know her. But
it's an alternate reality where she doesn't exist.
But that picture of him with the beard, did you find it? Oh
no,
my
we'll have to find it
God.
later.
Yeah,
We'll find it later.
Unbelievable.
But yeah, it's.
don't say I'll post it because I do not ever remember. So just
I'll
Google that
do
shit,
it. I'll
okay?
post it. Well, Googling didn't work. We gotta
Yeah.
try and find it
Got
on
it, yeah.
on Facebook somewhere. But yeah, I was taken aback.
Mm.
He was good looking. And yeah, I sent it to you guys earlier this week because I was utterly shocked, in a good way, that Tom Hanks is going to be playing Mr. Rogers in a movie.
I'm here for it.
I'm amazed.
that is
It's perfect.
It is. It's pretty perfect.
But again, like I was watching the trailer, like what are they going to do with this movie? Because like it's so wholesome that I'm like, how do you? I'm not used to seeing a movie just about like a straight up
There's
good
no
person.
conflict at all, right? So like, what is the, like he's just there's a good movie about a good guy. And
I mean,
where's your?
I think
pinnacle? Like, what do
they're
you?
building the conflict into the like. It's supposed to be like a reporter who has to write a piece about him, and I
Oh.
think that reporter wants to find dirt and can't.
No,
So
gotcha.
his internal struggle of like something, or I think that's where the conflict's going to be because
Yeah.
there's no.
And don't ruin me. Don't ruin.
If you fucking
If you bury that shit,
you stay
deep
away,
down,
you stay away.
you never bring it up again.
Well,
Oof.
you guys want to take 5 and then we'll come back with stories?
Let's do it.
Yeah. And we're back. You want to start us off with some stories, Christina?
Yes, I do. I will say this will infuriate both of you.
Oh, great.
This story. And
I'm already hot.
Exactly. Like
yes.
it's so hot outside. I'm already mad
We
for no
are-
reason. So
en fuego, let's just take it to level 11. Get ready to plan a murder.
oh my God. All right. Cool.
Are you ready? Because
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Ret to jet.
So we got this through our website. The subject is 32 and still a child.
Okay.
She says,
All right.
okay, ladies, you'll probably get mad at this too. I'm still angry, so I'm typing it before I forget it all. Great.
Perfect.
So this is
She's
like...
got fire fingers. She's like,
She's like, here I go.
That makes me think of that meme
The
of
gif,
that woman.
the-
That woman that's like typing and it zooms in on the phone and it's the really
a
long
wall of text. Yeah. What did
Finish
you do?
him.
Yeah.
Finish him. It reminds me of that cat. The cat.
Yeah.
Angry
Yes.
cat at
Angry
the
cat.
keyboard.
Yes,
Yeah.
Keyboard, exactly.
I like it that we can just share information via memes and GIFs, and everyone, it's universal. It's like a
We all know.
universal language at this point.
Yes,
Everyone
I
knows what
love
you
it.
mean.
She says, I met this guy on Tinder. He was hot. Think Bruno Mars meets really fit young Obama.
Okay. All right.
So, used to be some sort of soccer star in college. Now he works nights at a casino and does soccer and basketball and the like recreationally. I like an active guy. We hit it off on our first date. He's funny and can take sarcasm. I'm not looking for anything too serious, just looking to have fun when I can. And if anything serious happens, then it happens, but I'm not pressed. Girl, same.
Right. Yeah, that's like your philosophy, right?
Exactly. Totally. So when he invites me back to his place for our second date, I'm not too bothered by it and eager to be with someone so hot. Side note, I know hot dude does not equal good in bed, but damn it, I really feel like...
Might as well find out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Better explore it.
Dora the Explorer over here.
I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map.
No swiping. Stop.
She says we start with foreplay and we're getting hot and heavy. I tell him to get a condom so we can continue. And instead, he just pushes in and says,
nope.
But I like this
No.
better.
Oh. I'm going to kick you the fuck off of me. No. Like you're kicking in a door.
No.
Right in the rib cage.
No.
Right?
The fuck off of
She
me.
says, now I'm irritated, but I've been revved up, so I let it continue for a minute before insisting on the condom. He puts one on, we finish, and I leave because he has work. Some things to know about him. His background picture on his phone is a pic of him from college when he had an 8-pack. It's a
okay. I'm sorry. Time out. The background picture on his phone is himself?
Yep.
Who among us? Anyone?
Nope.
Like who
I'm
puts
so
a
furious
picture?
about him putting his dick in.
I mean, of course, but like that's
Dirty
such a
dick.
that is
dirty
such
dick,
a douche.
raw dogging me without my fucking permission.
That is such a douche fucking move. Like red
You have a
fucking
picture
flag.
of yourself as your wallpaper.
What? I want to look at his computer. Is his like computer wallpaper also just like a headshot?
Okay, here's another tidbit of information about this douchebag. He literally deletes all his messages at the end of every day.
Shady as
Cheating.
fuck.
Cheating.
Shady.
Cheating.
Slim
Underline,
Cheating.
bold,
Cheating.
in italics. We all know this.
Ooh,
This is
my
so.
leg is shaking, so I am on fire.
And last but not least, he rents a room in a large house full of other dudes.
Ew.
That in itself isn't a bad thing. We live where we can afford, but it was just something to note that his roommates could probably hear us, though I guess that's why he always left the TV on.
Dirty dick.
Oh, that's exactly what I was gonna say. That is a dirty dick for sure. Like you're in a
Dirty dick
house.
den.
Yes, you're in a house with
Dick's den.
other fucking dudes. Ew.
I hate it.
I hate
You
him.
hate all of this. Yeah. It gets so
Again,
much
okay,
worse.
Just
I'm
to go
literally
back
sweating right now.
to
So
previous episodes, this would be an ideal candidate for the pussy embargo.
Amen.
We don't fuck this guy. I don't
Amen.
care how hot he is.
Yeah.
Because if we deny him sex for long enough,
Then
maybe
he's-
he'll clean up and
Yeah.
be a better person. Just
yeah,
saying.
I'm all for letting my freak flag fly, and I
Sure.
certainly have this, this past year. But yeah, don't. You gotta be safe. You gotta be safe, and that's why I've never understood why there's any traction to the male birth control pill. Because I'm like, who among us is gonna trust some fucking guy to take the pill?
Hell
I'm
no.
sorry, I don't trust you.
No.
I don't trust you. I don't trust a motherfucker at all.
Barely trust myself to remember when I was taking it.
I know. So yeah,
Nah.
dude. So she says, anyways, we make plans to see each other that Sunday, and I tell him to text me when he wants me to come over. I hear nothing from him, so I figured it was a
The
one.
sex must have been pretty good if
Yeah.
she gave him another call.
Exactly. She's like, I figured it was a one and done type of situation, and that was fine with me. I had plenty of other dates lined up, and I was still irritated about the condom thing. See,
Yeah.
here's
Yeah.
the thing. It's like, I hate that, and I do it too, where you give people the benefit of the doubt because you're like, he was a little shitty about that, but don't give these
This is
people
where
second
my 41
chances.
year old age is showing because 41-year-old me is about to slit his throat.
Yeah, no,
21-year-old me would have been like, he didn't mean it. Like it was, and it did feel good. Like
Yeah.
honestly.
21-year-old me probably would have been the same way, but 29-year-old me is like, there are second chances that I will give people. That's
But
not one of
yeah,
them. Because I'm
exactly.
just like, now you're fucking around with my health.
Yeah,
like, back
exactly.
up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he texted me that Tuesday asking why I never messaged him, and I told him that I told him to message me. He tells me that he was in a motorcycle accident and that his phone had broke during the accident, but if I had texted him, he would have been able to respond via his Apple Watch. That's a lot of information.
Okay, lies. This man's a fucking liar.
Lies.
Like, and that's the thing is like, he's not even a good liar. Like, it's so transparent. That's what's so frustrating to me because a person who acts like this,
so he's been getting away with it for
Yeah.
A person who acts like this because they were able to get away with it all the years of their life up until now.
Yep.
That's why they behave
your
that
pretty
way.
privilege.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, dude. I am currently like hanging out with somebody who definitely has pretty privilege.
Oh, I thought you were going to say dirty
Definitely.
dick. I'm not going to lie.
No.
I was like, ooh.
Christina, I'm going to talk
Christina,
to
we
you.
need a
No,
conversation.
but is the exact opposite, is like hella down with consent and like
I wonder if he
very
was ugly when he was in high school.
Well, exactly. Because here's the thing.
Yeah,
there
I
are
know.
people who are beautiful people and not even necessarily that they were ugly before, but there's a difference between like, we have such an athlete worship in this
Right.
country
Ooh,
that
totally.
like,
You're
if
right.
he was popular in high school and middle school, like being in sports and all of that shit and had that like rah culture with all of his like bros, then that's why he's acting like this. Because he was good looking and probably popular and all the other shit. Like,
Right.
if you're good looking but you were like good at science in high school, then you're
Right.
probably a much nicer human being. You
yeah,
know?
yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. And some people don't blossom until after high school.
Yeah, and also, I mean, no shade on I hashtag not all jocks. I get it. Like, not everybody was a piece of shit. Like, but
But I still
But
have
most.
one that's like, there is a jock from my high school and like a serious jock who was like super fucking popular. And if any of my friends from high school that I'm really close friends with want to text me and ask me who this is, I will straight up tell you. But this
Ooh.
person fucking out of nowhere will like pop into my fucking inbox
In your
every now and
DMs?
again, into my goddamn DMs. I'm like, motherfucker, first and motherfucking all. We were not friends in school.
oh, I love that.
And I know that I'm good looking, but motherfucker, get the
Girl,
fuck
can
outta
we
here,
talk
'cause-
about that as like someone who didn't blossom until after
Thank
high
you.
school?
Thank you,
like
sister.
these motherfuckers. I'm like, I've had that happen to me too. I'm like, you were a straight up dick to me in school,
Right.
and
Yeah.
now you're fucking talking to me.
Yep.
What? Why? Like your friend requesting me? Like you want to be friends now?
Kylie, Sarah, I'm looking at you. I'm expecting you to message me, and I swear to God, I will 100%. I will even snap it and send it because this person is not who you would fucking think.
Yeah, no, it's really like, I didn't go to the high school reunion. I don't need it in my inbox. So thanks,
Oh, I did, and I took
bye.
my husband, and
Ooh.
I did that just because I was like,
Girl, I
Chris,
wanted to
let
go.
me show you.
Ooh, I wanted to go. My 10-year was last year, and the only reason I didn't go is because we were on a cruise to Mexico for our friend's wedding. Because I would have gone, just to be like, listen.
You were gonna Romeo and Michelle them?
Yes, I'm like, I glowed up, bitch. What's up?
Yeah. I'm so sorry. We're so off track on your story.
No, it's all good. She says, we make plans for the following Wednesday. I get over to his place around 2 p.m. His roommate just lets me in without asking who I was. Weird.
Not weird. It means that he has girls cycling in and out
Yep.
there like a revolving door.
Exactly. I walk up to his bedroom just as he was opening the door. So, okay. He has It's Sunny in Philadelphia on. And while we're heavy petting, he's giggling over parts of the show. I don't like that. I don't
Put
like
on
that.
some music
Put
if
on
you
some
don't want your
music.
roommates to hear you. They're like kitten mittens while they're.
She says, I'm proactive this time. I ask him where his condom is.
Yeah.
He
Oh, you don't have one? I got one.
complains and says, just let me put it in for a little bit. And I say, no. Literally, all I'm hearing in my head is Keegan going, what type of dirty dick? He starts rubbing himself on me and saying things like, I'm just going to tease you a bit before I put it on. Just let me tease you. Just let me put it in for 10 seconds.
Like you're doing me a fucking favor?
32-year-old adult.
Just the tip.
Just
the tip.
Trying
Try it
to
out.
just the tip somebody.
Oh my
Get the
God.
fuck out of here.
Are we in a time travel episode? Are you now fucking 16 and we're in the back of your Trans Am?
Oh my God.
Get out of
Get
here.
the fuck
Get
out of
the
here.
fuck out of here.
Honey.
That's not a Trans Am, by the way. That is a
It's like a Honda
He's got a
Civic
shit vet.
1984.
I finally told him, oh, okay, so at one point he even pulls out the condom, opens the package, but keeps moaning about putting it in for 10 seconds because condoms make him feel nothing.
Oh, my baby.
Because that's all I hear.
Exactly. I finally told him I'm going to need you to respect me and my reproductive health. You're going to give me a yeast infection, if anything, just like you did last time, which was true. I had the worst yeast infection after being with him. I had to get a couple rounds of antibiotics. He asks me, what's a yeast infection?
Honey.
Okay, seriously.
Okay.
So
Okay.
You dirty dick motherfucker. Get the
Get the
Take a high school health class.
Oh my God. Why do I
Jesus
have to
Christ.
explain women's reproductive health to a
Yeah.
32-year-old adult? Unfucking believable. That's so.
I want to know what he does
gross
for
to
a
me.
living. What does he do?
He's not a gynecologist.
I'm hovering over his hips and ask him, seriously? It's an infection of yeast in the vaginal area. It sucks. It's miserable. And I'm prone to them. And semen can change the pH in my lady bits to give one to me. I don't
I can't
want.
believe she's
love her.
giving
I
him
love her.
a straight up health lesson,
Yeah.
like hovering over him on all fours. Like, bitch, I am planking on top of you.
You are so hot and I want to do this. I'm giving you every opportunity that I'm explaining
Please.
a yeast infection
am
to
using
you.
my
You're not
core.
this dumb. Exactly. I've engaged my full fucking core. I'm gonna have an 8-pack by the time we're done with this.
He goes, I promise I won't come in you to change your pH or whatever. My response is, oh, okay, you can control your pre-cum just like that? He says, yes.
Oh!
I tell him, please just put on the damn condom. And then he goes, listen, well,
I gotta put my drink down. Hold on. Okay, go
you've
ahead.
licked me, so you got yeast breath. I smell it on you with your yeasty, beer-smelling yeasty breath.
32 fucking 2
30 fucking 2
Years old.
Has supposedly like done adult shit, like maybe like pay an electric bill or like
I don't know, man. He lives in a house with like 6 other dudes. Maybe one of them is in charge of the bills.
what the fuck is this?
Is one of his dudes his dad?
I know.
I need him to.
It's actually he just lives with his family. It's like his uncles and his dad.
Yeah.
At this point, I go dry as the Sahara.
Hell yeah. I
Like,
know.
dude, you're hot, but you're a fucking child, and this is no longer sexy. I say, even if you don't give me a yeast infection, now I'm worried you have some STD from all the other women you don't wear a condom with.
He's like,
Amen.
what's that?
He tells me, I'm not with any other girls. Then pauses. Okay, I'm with another girl, but she makes me wear a condom. I'm sitting beside him at this point, no longer really into anything, and said, good for her. Why do you respect her and not me? He says, I respect you, but just give me your pussy. I want your pussy. Let's have some fun.
Oh my God.
I say, well-
I'm sickened.
It's nice meeting you, but I'm going to leave. I got off his bed, started putting clothes on. At this point, I'm fully expecting him to put the condom on and ask me to get back into bed, but he doesn't. He's silently watching the TV show, head turned away from me. I finish putting on my clothes, throw his boxers at him, find my glasses in my purse and say, nice to meet ya, and then left.
I mean, good for her, but God fucking damn. How'd you not punch that guy in the face? Like, seriously.
that.
Unbelievable.
I want your pussy. Well, too fucking bad.
Get the fuck
Get the fuck out of
of
here.
here.
Well, that's That's fucking assault. We've talked about
Yeah,
that before.
absolutely.
It's assault.
100%.
100.
Speaking
But then the
sorry.
fucking crazy is like, well, you licked me, so now you have a yeast
get the
infection. I'm like, you fucking imbecile. You fucking childish imbecile.
I could literally not even be around him because of how ignorant.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah.
Like absolutely.
That literally is
There's
the
no
biggest
amount of
turnoff. Oh,
there-
being dumb is the biggest.
Absolutely.
turnoff.
And we've
like
talked
willfully
about
dumb.
willfully dumb.
right because you haven't had to do shit because
Right.
you kick ball real good and you are hot. Like seriously, like I'm serious. It's true.
You kick ball real good.
You kick that ball real hard.
I know both of us almost spit because we were drinking simultaneously.
But I mean, we've all talked about like what you would allow. Like it's true, and it might be shitty, but it's true that like someone who's very, very, very ridiculously good looking, we allow to get get away with a lot more
Right.
shit than we
Yeah.
would someone else. But even then, I cannot picture a situation in which someone was hot enough for me to put up with that kind of stupidity.
No,
Like-
never. I dated a guy like that for 5 hot seconds.
Guys,
I was like, you are so. I got home from a trip that we went on together, and my mom had picked me up from the airport, and I was like, I don't think I can ever talk to this person.
Is this
I
Dumb
know.
and Dumber?
Again,
like, where
like,
am I?
literally, like, you are the dumbest human being. And this motherfucker had a degree from a college. I'm like, this is why degrees don't matter to me.
They really don't. They really don't.
Degrees
You ain't
do
wrong.
not equal smarts.
No, they
I
just
know some of
equal
the-
like you were able to pay
to go to
pay
school.
to go to school. Yeah, for sure.
Right. I mean, and
For
honestly,
sure.
it doesn't take that much to pass a class.
No.
Like you just have to have a C average. Like
Yeah.
you can pass
True,
a class.
true,
Like you
true.
know what I mean? To graduate college.
True.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So your story reminded me of something that we should have talked about at the top of this episode, but I have to fucking bring it up.
Yeah.
Which is that one of our people on our page posted a how to clean a sex doll video.
Yes.
Can we goddamn talk about this? Because I am not fucking kidding you.
We have
when
the best listeners of all time.
When
Truly.
I say, I swear to God, I was like, well, I gotta fucking see this, and then I fucking immediately, I physically out loud gagged. That noise came out, and I had to turn it off.
Yeah.
I
No.
thought I was gonna literally lose my guts all over the place.
Yeah.
It is. I couldn't.
That's what.
Did anybody
That's what
finish
we
that
were.
video?
No. No.
I was at work whenever
No.
I got the notification, so I tagged it so that I would watch it later. So I haven't watched it yet. But
I'm getting
is it like
chills, man.
is it like a maintenance video? Like they're like, so you've purchased your sex doll. Here's what you do now. Is it like that?
It's kind of more like if Real Sex from HBO had
Sure.
done it.
Yeah.
So it was like,
this is
hi.
very-
He like throws it on his bed and he's like, so this is how I take care of my doll kind of thing. It's kind of like that. It's not like necessarily
It's-
like an IKEA how to build your bed.
Oh,
It's more like it's not like a structural step by step. It's more
sure.
of I will let you, we'll peruse
I'm
once we're done.
scared.
It's.
Did you watch it?
I watched like part of it, and I was like, nope, can't.
I
know
watched
this.
like literally not even a full minute. I'm not kidding.
It
like
bummed
maybe 30
me
seconds.
out hard.
Like,
Literally
okay,
gagged.
why did it bum you out? Did it bum you out because the guy seems really like lonely,
He is
or
digging up in there.
Yeah.
Shit comes
what did he use?
out.
Like a
Yes.
Cusses a little bit.
Yes.
He's like, God, like I was like, ooh,
It's
and I turned it off.
such a
Turned it off.
fucking bummer. It is such.
I'm
a
sweating talking
I'm
about it. you
watching
guys.
this
It is-
immediately when we are done.
Fuck.
Yes.
Watching it immediately when we are finished with this. All right.
Okay,
I've
sorry.
had some drinks.
All right.
I think I'm ready to watch that video.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So I will tell you my story now.
Yes.
So I got this story from Reddit. So this story says names in the story have been changed for privacy.
Great.
Enter me on Tinder, swiping around. I match with this guy who has half his hair black and the other half blonde. We talked about
Nope.
we
Don't
said
like
that's
that.
a
You're like,
major turn
this
off.
might be a red flag drink.
Also,
Okay. Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, the maintenance. Can we talk about the maintenance
Oh, that's
of that?
high.
High maintenance.
High maintenance.
yeah.
High.
I don't like
I don't
that.
like that. Mm-mm.
I don't like that. And I'm somebody with funky colored hair, so I can.
Yeah, unless you are
relate.
Cruella DeVille, that shit does not need to go down.
It is a look.
Yeah. Yeah, it's legit.
Honestly,
and
I would-
are you Zac Efron? That's pretty much the only person.
Dude. Anyway, other half blonde. We talked for about a week, and I showed him to a friend. From college. She freaks out, goes, "Oh my God, I know him," and proceeds to tell me about how they were friends and when they were younger, sorry, and how he's this stand-up dude. She shows me a picture she took of him and one of their other friends. We'll call him Jack. And then tells me they aren't friends any longer. Within the same hour, I find out that a friend from high school is dating Jack. Also, Jack and Joe, fake name, are in a band together. I tell him these things I've learned. So she's responding to dude, and she's like, I go back to him and I tell him these things I've learned, and he name drops back to me about these people, and he gains some credibility as a person to me because he's like, oh, we're sharing stories. I know these people. Yeah. Some back and forth. We got some shared friends in common. So this
it does help. It does like help to numb those like alarm bells because you're like, oh, I mean, at least
somebody knows that you're a real person.
Knows him in person.
Right. Yeah. I have half black and half white hair, but I also know some friends of yours who vouch for you.
Not enough.
I trust these people enough with their judgment to go on a date with him without my usual vetting. So we meet up at a coffee shop by his place. Ironically, people from an open mic I normally go to were there performing. Let me tell you, his pictures were so much better than his actual face.
Okay, drink.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. But he ends up taking me to my favorite Indian restaurant. So this is
it's like
it's great.
I'm seeing what's happening here.
Where
she's getting sucked in because it's like a negative, a positive, a negative, a positive.
We're on the
exactly
roller coaster.
Yeah.
We're on the roller coaster.
The roller coaster. He drops like $60 on food without me having mentioned it, which is amazing.
On
I'm
a first
normally
date?
all about paying for myself.
Yeah.
We go back to his place and definitely fucked. And by fucked, I mean I never want to sleep with anyone that tall ever again. Now,
it is hard, ladies.
We have talked about tall guy peen.
Yeah.
And a real thing.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it.
Goldilocks. You got to go for just right. Because there is such a thing as too big.
Well,
as much as,
he would have been good if not for not knowing how to use his large dick.
Oh, so he's just jamming.
B, if I hadn't found out in the moment he had a major foot fetish.
Oh,
surprise.
Yeah, that's like date 3, dude. Yeah. Wait until you like somebody. I'm like, if I really like somebody and they really want to suck on my toes, it doesn't bother me that much. First date, I'm kind of a little...
Yeah, I don't know you like that yet.
I don't know you like that yet. I'll let you do weird stuff to me around like, start soft, date 3.
Yeah.
Butter me up like day 8. We can really talk about some more extreme things. But date...
Yeah, date 1.
First time we're intimate.
Not into it.
Just do the regular stuff.
Yep.
Just the facts, ma'am.
Just the facts, exactly. And C, if his condoms weren't so rubbery and non-lubed that they didn't feel awful.
Oh my God.
Girl. Go get yourself a bottle of the cranberry supplements immediately because you are going to UTI town.
Choo choo.
All aboard.
Who doesn't get like the Trojan like?
Yeah, you gotta
get
the good
one.
kind.
Yeah,
get the good
There's
kind.
a new kind called Skin, and I think the I is like a Y.
Yeah,
Primo.
Primo.
All right.
That's the one I recommend. So, ladies,
so is it Skine?
It's Skine. It's Skine. It's Swedish. It's the Swedish condoms.
Swedish condoms. They're made with real Swedes. Oh, okay, sorry. I didn't feel awful. It was some of the most pathetic sex I've ever had.
Oh,
after about 3 or 4 failed attempts, we both went to sleep.
Failed attempts?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
In the morning, I drove him to work and forgot my leftover Indian food in his fridge. I left the best part, the only good part of that date in the fridge.
I've had that date. And you're like, I left lunch for today in his fridge.
Damn it.
This was the only good part of the state. I've only talked to him once since then, and I ghosted the fuck out of him. And I don't usually ghost. That's how bad the sex was.
Oh, wow.
Yikes.
Oh, my God. That is hilarious.
That is a yikes.
Guys, just because you have the tools doesn't mean
That's
you
right.
don't need to learn how to use them.
Yeah, I got
You know?
hammers and nails. Doesn't mean I can build a house.
Exactly.
All right. This story we got in our inbox, myworstdatepodcast@gmail.com.
Perfect.
In case you want to send us anything.
Yes.
Okay, so it says, this is a Plenty of Fish story. Don't know why I was on that damn site, but I was. After going through a nasty separation and divorce, I was on Plenty of Fish. I met this woman. We went out on a few dates, nothing really earth-shattering, but it wasn't bad. We start trying to make plans, and I ask her to go on a small trip with me as I had some free rooms. She comes clean and says, I'm not going to be available for a while.
Prison.
I ask, and she says she was going to be gone for 3 months. Come to find out that she was going to jail for 3 months.
You fucking called it.
I was like, this is
For-
jail or rehab.
Forging documents for sex workers.
Oh.
Stealing evidence, and a slew of other bad shit. This woman was an attorney and was charged with over 80 felonies. It may have been more, but I know over 80.
Oh, holy shit.
It made
She's
the
only got
news.
3 months?
3 months for 80 felonies. They must be like white collar shit for the most part.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it sounds like that: forging documents, stealing evidence, and then, several other things. But it sounds like mostly like lawyery shit.
She
Like,
lost her. She had to have lost her.
oh, I'm sure.
license.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
hell yeah.
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 Fuck.
And apparently he's from Vegas, and it made the news
Oh,
throughout Vegas. So
Oh, shit.
wow.
yeah, it's a really short one, but I mean,
Yikes.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
yikes.
I'm so
Damn.
sorry. You can't do that. You can't actually do anything for a while because I'm sure there's
Yeah.
a nice little probation.
Yeah,
tag
parole
on the end of that. You're
period.
not leaving
What
the
are you doing
state.
for the rest of your life now that you have no career?
Yeah. Exactly.
Everything you went to school
Can
for.
you imagine working so hard to be a lawyer, like pass the bar, like work so fucking hard to do that, be in school for so long, only to be like, you know what? I think I'm going to do some illegal shit.
Yeah,
You know?
do
Dude,
thievery.
I have been out of work for almost 3 weeks now, and I can barely handle my life thinking that like what am I going to do with myself if I can't find a job? Knowing full well that I'll be able to find a
You
job.
will be
You
able
can
to find a
imagine
job.
like everything you worked for not ever being able to do that thing again.
Well, I mean, and
that you
how,
worked so fucking hard for.
how do you ever forgive
Jesus.
yourself? Because it's just like, you have to come to terms with the fact that like you did that to yourself.
Oof.
You know what I mean? I get it. People make bad decisions. Bad decisions are appealing in a lot of ways, a lot of the time. But like the consequences.
Yep. Some of y'all never played Consequences as a kid.
That's
And
true.
it
It shows.
Mhm.
I'm
Are
ready
you
for
guys
this.
ready?
I'm super
I
ready.
am.
Yeah, let's do it.
So
You have actual notes.
I know,
You
and I
never
never
have
have notes.
Handwritten notes, even.
Handwritten notes.
Those are kind of like Cassie murder notes
Yeah,
right there.
dedication.
I'm really excited for this
Dear
one.
Barbara.
I actually read a
Dear
book
Connie.
about this specific topic a few years ago, and for whatever reason, when I was doing my Crazy in Love, one of the listicles came up, and her name came up, and I was like, oh my God, why haven't we done this yet? So I'm very excited because this week my Crazy in Love is going to be on Adolf Hitler's niece, Geli Raubal.
What?
I know nothing about this.
Oh my
story.
God. I thought you were
am
going to say
stoked.
Eva Braun for sure. All right, let's
No.
do this.
A lot of people don't know about Geli, but so let me
Your good friend
Let me-
Gailey, first name basis.
let me dive in.
You know.
Because it really legitimately is the most banana story. Okay. So, first of all, let's do a little bit of history about Adolf Hitler's family. Adolf Hitler was born to his father. His father had married his niece.
Right.
So, uncle and niece have Adolf.
Wait, okay. So his parents are uncle and
Our
niece.
uncle and niece. Yes.
Okay.
And so then they get divorced, and Adolf has a half sister, Angela, and Angela marries somebody and has some kids. So
Angela, like the prime minister
Yep.
currently.
yeah.
Okay, like
And
Merkel.
Yeah. So then she has in Linz, Austria in 1908, Geli, which is short for Angelika Raubal. So they just call her Geli.
Gailey's a very cute name.
Geli, yes. So she's born in 1908. She's 19 years younger than Adolf Hitler. She never really knew him growing up because Adolf was off doing, trying to be a painter and was very bohemian and everything, and wasn't really around the family. But then...
Yeah, so was Charles Manson.
Yeah.
Yikes, red flag. No.
Yeah. So they meet up again right at 1925 when he's released from prison, because this was right after like the beer hall he got put into prison. He wrote Mein Kampf. He's starting to become a rising star within the Nazi party. So at this point she's 17 and he's immediately struck by her.
Gross.
And so meanwhile, it's like really effing tough in Germany at this point. Any historians.
Right, their economy is like shit.
Their
right
economy
now.
is shit. It's like 1 million marks equals $1. It's completely like in inflation. Things are terrible. And by this point, her Geli's father had died. So it was just like the kids and Angela like trying to make it work in Germany, and now all of a sudden they have kind of rising celebrity in the family. It's Uncle Alfie.
So they're sidling
is what
all
they
up.
call
They're
him.
like, "What's up?
What's up?" And so Uncle Alfie says, "You can be my..."
I don't want him to be Uncle Alfie.
Yeah.
Alfie.
Let's-
That's what she
too
calls
sweet.
him.
It's
Yeah.
I
gross.
like that.
So he invites Angela and Geli to be housekeepers at his country house. It's this.
I'm sorry. If my fucking brother and uncle was like, "Yeah, you can come hang out. You want to clean my
You
house?"
can clean my house.
What?
I mean, if let's be honest, if that's what was happening to my family, I'd be like, "You guys can come clean my house."
Ugh.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, oh my god. So yeah, it's like they figure it's like a way out. It's like, okay, he's family. We're taken care of. We don't have to worry about like money for a little while. So they end up going there. Now, when they go there to the country house, they're there for a little bit. And then Hitler's like main base of operations at this point is in Munich. So this is really just before like he has like any real power. He's a rising star, but he's kind of like, I think at this point to put him on the level would be like a candidate running for president.
Sure.
Got it.
So
Okay.
it's like, he's like
Beto.
Pete Buttigieg.
Buttigieg.
He's totally like Buttigieg.
I'm pretty sure Buttigieg is not going to appreciate that comparison,
I
but
know.
yeah, all right.
Oh, no.
I know, totally not in ideals or whatever, but I'm talking about power
Yes,
level.
yes, yes.
You
Like
know
you
what I
said,
mean?
He's like a Trump, is what you're saying.
Well, it gets there
He's
for
like
sure.
a Jeb Bush.
He's like a Jeb.
Jeb.
Exclamation
Jeb
point.
Bush.
So
Clap,
TM.
please.
So yeah, they're housekeeping, and then they move over to Munich, where his main apartment is. He leaves the mom at the country estate and buys Geli the apartment next to his in Munich. So she
Don't like that.
she can be the housekeeper at his Munich place, and she
Did you need to buy her an entire apartment
Yeah.
for that? For her to do that?
Yeah.
Did you need to? Okay.
So let's talk about another little known fact about Mr. Adolf Hitler. There's a lot of really crazy controversy regarding his sexuality. If you go and look, there are a lot of people that claim he's asexual, that he wasn't into anything. There were a lot of people that said no. There were a lot of known that he was homosexual, that he had a lot of homosexual relationships with chauffeurs and different people within the Nazi party. And then there's a USS Intelligence report that was made during all of World War II, where they went and they actually found 7 women that were intimate with Hitler, 6 of them had committed suicide.
Oh, yikes.
What? I mean,
Yes.
I would too if I had.
Suicide in quotes,
Yeah,
sometimes
obviously.
and sometimes not. So know
Like-
that fact as we're moving forward
Did-
because that becomes pertinent later.
Did they commit suicide before or after the fall of the Nazi Party?
Before. This is all
Before.
in the early
So
days.
it wasn't necessarily out of
Shit.
shame. Right? It wasn't like
No.
Hitler became Hitler and then they were so ashamed of what
This
they'd
was-
done that they
This
killed
was
themselves.
like in the 20s and 30s.
Ooh.
Before World War II.
I am
and this
intrigued.
is quote unquote killed themselves.
Right. I am
Right.
intrigued.
So some of this was, before he's even in power.
Well,
Because,
he's got a lust for blood.
all of this stuff happens before he's even become president, before he has any kind of power at all. I mean, he has some still. He's a prominent figure, but he doesn't. He's not like the dictator or anything yet. So like these women have killed themselves. But we'll get to that. So already this is bananas. So he's got this 17-year-old on his arm, and at first people are
His
like,
niece.
"Oh, this is like a fatherly figure. He's taken her under his wing," kind of thing.
Nope.
And she is reveling in the attention. She gets to be kind of the queen of Munich at this point because he is kind of a local celeb, and she's enjoying the attention that she gets.
And
She's
how old is she?
She's 17.
Yeah.
She's 17.
She's 17. She's living in a Germany that is in the middle of a massive recession.
Right.
So other people don't get to live like that. And she didn't get to live like
she
that
gets
before.
to go to the opera. All of a
Right.
sudden now she gets a full ride to medical school. Like her future looks really bright.
It would be so easy to be taken in by that. Like so
Right.
fucking easy.
And multiple people have described her, depending on who you believe. She's been called like a princess of uncommon beauty, that she was like the Aryan ideal. And then there are other people who are like, she was an empty-headed slut.
Wow.
Yeah, literally quoted.
Wow.
Why can't both be true?
Yeah, exactly. It can all be true. It's a
all be true.
17-year-old girl. We're
Yeah.
complicated. So yeah, basically at this point, she's enjoying the attention. She's also enjoying the power that she has over men. So she starts kind of like flirting and being like,
Ooh, Uncle Alfie ain't gonna like that.
she ends up with the affection of Hitler's chauffeur, Emil Maurice.
Oh,
So
I don't
they-
think that's gonna fly.
That's not good.
No.
That ain't gonna fly.
So they start like a nice steamy affair. Hitler finds out about it, chases Emil off with a gun, like fires him.
Oh shit.
Pretty much. It was like, you're fucking out. And then immediately after that, closes down Geli's apartment and moves her in with him.
Oh, I don't like that.
So this is 1929.
I don't like that.
She's moved in with him and like has pretty much not allowed to go anywhere without some sort of supervision. Either it's him or it's a very close associate with him. Her only companion is a canary named Hansi. And she's at this point dropped out of medical school and wants to take singing lessons in Vienna, which she's allowed to do. She's allowed to go back and forth with people to go take these singing lessons in Vienna. That's what she wants to do. So,
I got thoughts.
yeah. A lot of people like try to like get her to come out. She finally is able to go out on a pseudo date with this guy named Otto Strasser, who was a very close associate of Hitler.
Why
They're-
would he let her do that?
She was allowed out. It was a ball that she wanted to go to. She really wanted to go to. And people said that if Geli wanted to go swimming, that became more important to him than the most important meeting that he had that day. Like he would put things aside to cater to her.
So her needs were important to him unless her needs and desires went against what he wanted.
Correct. 100%. So basically, she's able to go to this ball that she really wanted to go to, and she's able to go with like his close friend as like a supervisor. And they're at the end of the night, they had like a wonderful time. They're walking through this beautiful garden, and they're sitting on a bench, and she starts crying, and she tells him everything about what
We're all like
Adolf Hitler
Oh dear.
has done to her.
Oh.
Apparently, according to this guy, and it's been corroborated by some other sources, she was so bothered by his sexuality. Now, we don't yuck anyone's yum, but
No.
I feel like we can be a little hard on Hitler.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Right?
Yeah.
listen, I don't
Yeah.
think we need to be.
I don't think
we
we
don't need
need
to
to-
handle him with kid gloves here.
Nah. Fuck him.
He liked it when she would squat over him completely naked so that he could examine her closely.
His niece.
His niece, his teenage niece. And then right before he came, he liked her to pee or poop on him.
Oh.
This is also corroborated by some of the other testimony they got. This, remember, the 6 out of 7 women that had killed themselves had also kind of told similar stories
Oh,
to
shit.
people before they had committed suicide, including one, a woman named Renata, who was a stage actress who ended up throwing herself from a balcony, said that what he wanted to do distressed her so much that it was like unbearable. And he had constantly
shit.
like when they were intimate, like he begged her to like kick him and degrade him. And that's what got
He
him
just
off.
needed a really good BDSM mistress that
Yeah.
he could pay. Because look, there are people who do that
Yeah.
for a living.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's who you need
Not,
to.
I'm not yucking his yum. What
Yeah.
I'm yucking is his fucking cut like niece.
First of all, it's his niece. Secondly,
Teenage niece.
clearly she didn't want to be doing it.
Right.
And thirdly, clearly none of these women, or
Are
at least the
consenting.
majority of these women, did not want to be engaging in
Yeah,
this.
we're talking about a definite like power struggle at this
Right.
point.
Yeah.
Like, how could they have like
right,
really
like,
said
you
no?
do what you want to do, but like the whole thing about like not yucking anybody's yum is like you do what you want to do as long as you're not hurting anybody.
Right.
If you are forcing people to do things or intimidating
You
people,
distress them so much
to
that
do
they
things-
commit suicide.
right,
In
when they're
quotes.
uncomfortable, like then you are hurting people. Like
Right.
you are. So what the fuck? Yeah, that's
I
deeply
am
upsetting.
officially yucking your yum.
Officially, yes, yeah.
Officially, exactly. So, okay. This stuff is all becoming the talk of Munich. Things are getting like
It's not gonna be good for Geli
not going to be good for
because
Geli.
I have a feeling. It's just a feeling
I got a
that
feeling.
Uncle Alfie probably isn't going to like it that his reputation is getting fucked with.
Yeah, and this is right as shit is starting to go down. We're going to skip ahead to 1931 now. So
It's revving
she
up.
has been in like under his roof, under his thumb now for 2 years.
Where's
but
her
really,
mom?
her mom's up in fucking Berchtesgaden. Berchtesgaden, the
Berchtesgaden?
villa in the country.
Just kicking it.
Just
like,
kicking
look,
it.
Look,
Totes.
Gaylee, you're just going to have to
Kicking
fucking
it.
deal because...
Take one for the team.
Take one
bitch.
for the team. I'm living a good life over here.
Damn.
Yeah, so
Thanks, Mom.
Thank you so much.
she's like in his villa, which, by the way, the other thing that the report says is like Hitler had pictures of his mother like everywhere. Like, so like,
Didn't we talk about
that's
that? Didn't we have a
a
story
whole
where a guy
thing.
had his like grandma's picture like next to the bed?
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah.
he used
And
to
he turned
sleep.
it around and turned it around.
I don't like it. I don't like that.
He used to sleep like in her bed. Like that was like something he wrote was like his fondest memories was like when his dad wouldn't come home, and so he would get to sleep with his
Oh,
mom's bed.
me
So
and Cassie were looking
you
at
know,
each other like, oh.
I'm just saying,
oh.
you want to do a psych profile on this guy. You've got
Well, and I-
plenty of material to work with.
And I also heard like I was listening to something and they were talking about how some theories, and look, we don't need to sit here and like have theories about why Hitler's a piece of shit. Like he's a piece of shit. But like that a lot of the people who came back from World War One, like a lot of the shit that they experienced is very similar to what is that CTE or whatever that is, that like football players experience, where it's like
Yeah.
long-term brain damage
Yeah.
from
shit.
like shell, like
Shock.
things exploding near them
Yeah.
all the time,
Yeah.
and then like the psychological trauma, and that it does the same like fucked up shit to your head as that. So you've got
Yes.
that. You've got a fucked up parental situation.
Yeah.
Yikes on yikes.
Yikes on bikes.
Yeah. Soups yikes on bikes. So it's 1931. Geli's had it. Because at this point, she is 23 years old. She's done with this whole situation.
Yeah,
she's
about
like,
to be an old maid if she don't hurry the fuck
She's
up.
been doing this shit
Exactly.
since 17. Jesus.
yeah, she's over it. She wants to be free. She was always, despite all the different ways she was described, one of the things that everyone described her as is very
She meets
carefree.
the Fab Five.
She's
Hell yeah.
very
Needs that
out
queer
there.
eye in her life.
Yeah. So she decides she's going to go to Vienna. She's going to Austria. She wants to take singing lessons. Like, she wants to move there. She's all about it. They have a spaghetti lunch on September 18th. Her and Hitler eating spaghetti.
That seems so weird to me. I don't know why that was just like the weirdest mental image. I'm like, why?
Just
Like,
having,
There he's
having
just
spaghetti.
slurping it up, just Hitler. Like, what's happening?
Hitler
Okay.
ate spaghetti. It's
All right. Does
notated.
he use a spoon? Is
I
he
don't
like
know.
one of those? Okay,
But
interesting.
they start arguing. They start arguing because she wants to do this, and he's like, no. And she's like, but I really want to go.
What do you
And
mean?
he's
No,
like,
I'm 23.
yeah.
Right.
He's like, no,
Full-grown
I don't approve of this. So they have this big argument. Supposedly, Hitler gets in his car and goes off to Nuremberg. He had like a speaking engagement, and his staff said Geli was really
Nuremberg. Wow.
upset, but she was up in her room, and then they heard nothing until they went to go check on her the following morning when she didn't come down. The door was supposedly locked. They had to break it open, and they found her dead of a gunshot wound.
Pardon me
in
if I
her.
don't trust Nazis. Like, if I
Yeah.
don't trust a Nazi's account of how
Yeah.
this went down.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Please.
And also like Hitler's housekeepers who were paid by him.
Yeah.
And yeah.
and who would fucking betray Hitler? Like, if you
yeah.
lived in
Time
his
especially.
house,
Yeah.
like, at that time,
exactly.
you know, like, of course, like, they're going to tell whatever
Yep.
story they have to tell.
Suicide.
Yeah, I don't.
The biggest thing,
But also, if she killed herself, I'd be like, you were living with Hitler against your will for 6
Yeah,
years.
and,
So,
like-
like, maybe.
yeah, and had to do things that I'm sure
Don't
like
blame
you do
Didn't
not
wanna do.
fathom.
Didn't want to
like
live with.
thinking about like sex as like a 17-year-old, like in our days, like when I was 17, I
Yeah.
would never think of peeing or pooping on somebody.
no,
like
no.
that is so outside the realm.
I hadn't
So
even had sex.
Can't
at
even
17.
imagine
Yeah.
going back to like the 30s, what they think of sex
Oh,
and
Jesus.
love and all that, and what a toll that must
Well,
have
and
been.
this is your uncle.
And it's your uncle.
It's your uncle who's wanting you to do this like really fucked up shit.
yeah.
Trigger
with him.
fucking warning. Guys.
Yeah, I mean, truly, yeah. But I mean, like, yeah, I can only imagine like the power dynamic there is so fucked up. So while I'm totally willing to believe that Hitler or one of Hitler's people fucking killed her because,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because
Yeah.
she was talking.
Yeah.
yeah, but also
She was over
I
it.
mean,
She
she
was
could
done.
have. She could have because if you don't see a way out, this has been your life for
true.
6 years,
Mm-hmm.
and you've had to do these things that I'm sure make you feel ashamed and bad.
So that is one of the theories, is that she did actually kill herself. She had a gunshot wound to the lung, so it was below
That's a-
her heart.
That's a
which
weird
is a very
place
weird
to-
way
Yeah, like you're aiming the gun underneath your rib cage. It's
to
really
shoot
weird.
yourself.
That would be
It's
weird.
So she
She's like, this is where my heart's at, right?
the other thing that's very strange is that on her desk was a letter that she had started to write that says, "When I come to Vienna, we will go to Semmerling," and didn't even finish the A-N-D.
Oh shit.
So
She's
if you're committing
mid-writing.
Who
suicide,
doesn't finish their suicide note?
Yeah.
and it's not even a suicide note.
It's
It's
just a
talking.
letter.
It's a letter to a friend saying, "When I come to Vienna, we will go to Semmerling," and that's what it says. So I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, no one's like, you know what, fuck this. Right in
Yeah.
the lung. You know what I mean? In
Yeah.
the middle of a benign sentence, like making plans
Well, I mean,
about
yes, making plans. Like,
Yeah.
not even just a benign sentence, but a sentence that is indicating that you want a future, at
Right.
least in so much as,
it implies
that. Yeah.
interruption.
yes,
Right.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It does.
Which no one in the housekeepers, like no one came in, like no one saying, like we saw her, she was mad after spaghetti, and then we didn't see her.
Also, nobody heard the fucking gun go off. Where was
exactly.
everyone?
Nobody heard
What
anything.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay. That's where you get me. Is I'm just like, all right, maybe I could convince myself that she killed herself because her existence seems pretty shitty.
And it's Hitler's
And-
personal gun.
oh, fuck
Oh.
you.
Oh, well, he just
Oh.
left it there. Huh? That's convenient. In
Yeah.
her fucking room.
She just found
Locked
it.
room.
Yeah, in her locked room.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody heard a
Convenient.
gun go off. It's not like there was a fucking silencer.
Seems cool.
So there were so
Super
much,
chill.
so
Yeah.
much rumors at this point. This is really like the current climate in Germany was very fractured. You had people that were super into like this Nazi party rising to power. You had people that were like, no, this is bullshit, and a big opposition fighting it. And there were a bunch of journalists.
Sounds familiar.
There were a bunch of journalists that hopped on this story. Like, what is this, a cover up? Like, what is going on? There was one journalist in particular. His name was Gerlich.
And he's dead.
He's legitimately dead. He solved it. He said, without a doubt, I have proof Hitler murdered Geli.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to publish this shit. I have the opposition thing, and it's going to be published in March. Weeks before SS come in, raid it. They think that they had like a mole on the inside that called him out to the Nazi party. They burned everything. And they took him to Dachau, and he was killed in at Dachau in 1934 on the night of the Long Knives.
Here's my question. Do you guys think that Hitler did it himself, or do you think he had somebody in the house do it? Because Hitler has always struck me as
the
someone
man
does anything.
he
he doesn't do anything himself,
doesn't
right?
It's a Manson type where
Right,
he's going to
yeah.
get.
He makes other people
He and
do
Manson, the
atrocious
fucking
things.
parallels.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
well, to parallel them is ridiculous considering that what Hitler was responsible
scale
for.
that- yeah.
The scale of what we're well,
But you
if
know
you
what?
think about the scale of what somebody like a Manson could have been
Exactly.
responsible for.
If Manson
he
had been given
had-
enough responsibility,
yeah,
who knows?
that level of
Power.
and narcissism
Yeah.
and wow.
Just a complete lack of caring about anybody but yourself.
Absolutely.
Like, that's what that is. Because who, even in good conscience, even if you weren't doing anything, well, I mean, it is pretty terrible just in itself, but like, who could even keep their niece essentially hostage for that long? Even if you
yeah.
weren't doing anything particularly
Exactly.
like nefarious, like what kind of normal person could
Like,
just
you know
be
what?
like,
You're 23, you still are under my thumb.
And be
That's
like,
wild.
be a
That's
young,
wild.
be a young woman in that day and age in something like, I can't even imagine what that would be like. It would be like if Trump was holding like Ivanka hostage.
Tiffany.
Is she not?
Tiffany.
Is he not?
I know, right? Yeah, I mean, it's just it's wild, and it's like, so part of you is like, it's family. You get like Stockholm syndrome, and then you think, but what
Sure.
else can I do? Especially a woman in the 30s with like no,
You have limited
you know
resources,
what I mean? And
limited
it's-
options.
It blows my
It's
fucking
not
mind.
it's not the same. You have to look at everything within the context of the time, and then also within the like economics of that time. Like
Right.
we have the understanding of like what the Great Depression in the United States was like,
Mm-hmm.
and then imagine that, and also like the
Inflation, Germany, like post World War One,
and
yeah,
this and the
it's-
socialization of women at that time.
Yeah.
And your family. And you're right. It's like everything. It's like, look at how many passes. I let people in my family get away with not get away with, but like I continue to see them and interact with people in my
Right.
family despite their like bad behavior.
Sure.
That I would never continue to
we
like
definitely forgive that so much quicker. You're so
yeah,
right.
I mean, or like even if I don't forgive it, I'm just like, well, I'm still going to see them. Like, I'm not going to shun them. I'm still going to see them at family functions. I'm still going to interact with them because they're my family. Like, if that was anybody else, I'd be like, nah, fuck that. I'm not seeing that person. Like, fuck that. Like, your mentality is just so different.
Mm-hmm. It is true. No matter how much you try to think that it won't be like, oh, bad people are bad people. You're right. It does change it. Yeah, it does.
So the story is that Rudolf Hess is the one that called the hotel that Hitler was staying at, and the hotel sent a motorbike out to meet up with Hitler's motorcade and told him the news. Hitler was so distraught that he basically was like,
I just rolled my eyes. I don't know if you guys
I know
heard that.
we both rolled our eyes so hard.
He was described as comatose for the next like week, and at one point was even like threatening to kill himself.
I wish you would. Wish you would.
A gun was taken away from him.
Oh, they should have let him have it.
There's a good there's a good episode of Behind the Bastards. One of the many that they have on Nazis, where they talk about the number of times Hitler almost died and like people around him like saved him, like took guns away from him and things like that. And I'm just like, if just one of you like would have just fucking let this motherfucker like
somebody else would have
pull
taken
it off.
over.
You know what I mean?
Somebody else would have taken over the regime.
But there were a couple times before the regime really took off that I'm like, if just
this was one of them. This was literally like before like any of this
should have let him do it.
Got started. So he was so distraught. His inner circle was just astounded by like how affected he was, and every single person was like, that's when it all changed.
Guilt will do that to you.
Changed.
Listen.
And he was a completely different person after Geli died. So I don't think so. I think he was probably the
like
same
victim
person.
Blaming if I ever heard it.
But yeah, it was just like everybody says like, he was a different person after Geli died. And in his Munich apartment, her room was kept shut. It was never cleaned. It was never anything except for twice a year. No, so it still had like
I'm
the
sorry,
blood.
My face is so like
our eyes are about to roll out of our heads.
They didn't clean the blood stains, like nothing. But like twice a year for her birth and the anniversary of her death, he would bring in fresh flowers and he would let people view the room that she slept in.
What the fuck is wrong with you? What the okay, why do we even ask that question about like Adolf
Hitler?
Here we are.
Apparently there's a lot, man, because I had no idea about the existence of that USS intelligence report where they went to great lengths to kind of do a profile of him.
Yeah.
And this was like pre-Mindhunter shit. Damn. They were like, what's going on?
What happens
with his
in your brain?
Sexuality, because we feel like he's weird. And there's a fucking government document trying to figure out Hitler's sexuality. How wild is that? All the way.
You're flinging that paper around like,
I know. I was like, wait, what? I like
that's a wild fucking story.
No, that story is wild. Oh man, it's amazing how
I gotta find a picture of this girl.
Look at
Geli.
How do you spell it?
It's Geli Raubal, Raubel. And there's pictures. It's weird. And I got a lot of initial information from a Vanity Fair article written by Ron Rosenbaum, who says you can see it in some pictures and you can't in others. And that's what he finds so unique about Geli, is that like there's so many different ways that different people describe her or see her.
It's funny. She's got almost a different face in every picture.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, some people said she was blonde. Some people said she was dark haired. It's like she was just like a chameleon kind of.
Yeah.
And that people saw what they wanted to see. But the biggest thing was that everyone noticed the effect that they had on Hitler. And he was later quoted as saying that she was the only woman he ever loved.
Well, that's gross.
Wow.
So sorry, Ava.
Very different than I would have expected. Like the way she looks, she's actually like very sweet looking. She's got like a round face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very sweet looking.
Yeah, like very innocent looking.
And it makes me sad because
she looks like him
is,
kind of,
her
which
name
is
is
gross.
Lost to history, pretty much.
Totally. I never even heard of her.
Never heard of her. She had such a profound impact at such an important part of time. And like her death, there's nothing official about it. There's nothing, it just bums me out. I wish that there are a bunch of people that are trying to, she did have a beautiful grave in Vienna for the longest time, but you have to pay for upkeep. Mm-hmm. So because World War II got crazy and Hitler was paying for upkeep and then he killed himself, they moved her to a pauper's field, and they're getting ready to unearth that whole pauper's field and just put him in a mass grave. So this is the last chance for them to dig her up and actually do like a legitimate autopsy on her. Yeah. Because the other thing that they found, their whispers of the police report, her nose was broken.
Really?
Which they were like, oh, she broke it when she fell from the gunshot, but she had bruises. And they were like, yep, all post-mortem.
But even now, what was the embalming like at that time?
Right.
Is her face going to be...
And your nose is not a bone, so you don't there's not going to be anything left when you think about a skull.
Is it going to be intact enough? I mean, unless it fractured like the orbital bones, like around your eyes or something like that. Is it... But even then, it's like if the embalming wasn't very good, it's been so long that
they would also be able to tell if she was pregnant.
How would they know if it's just
if you're
skeleton?
3 months or more, they can tell
because your hips
pregnant.
start to widen. Is that what that is? It's like your hip, because they can tell if you've had a child because your hips turn out and like they widen. I don't know at what point during the pregnancy that happens.
I'm not sure, but I don't know the science behind it, but yes, you can tell if someone, even like badly decomposed,
science daddies, get at us.
3 months or more, then you would be able to tell. And that is the biggest prevailing rumor, is that she was either pregnant with Hitler's baby or she was pregnant by her Jewish voice teacher in Vienna.
Ooh, shit. I mean, because if it was Hitler's baby, why the fuck would he care?
She wasn't even able to go to Vienna.
No, she was able to go back and forth before, and then he was she wanted to go to Vienna again while he was out of town. He was like, no. And it was her plan of escape to go to Vienna and marry
a Jewish man.
That's the rumor. She was supposed to marry somebody in Vienna, but the rumor was she had a Jewish voice teacher. So, like, there's all of it's rumor and speculation.
And there's nothing that's really provable,
exactly,
honestly,
at this point, except for there's stuff that you can get from her bones. There really is stuff.
I mean, even if she was pregnant,
there's no way to tell by who.
You'd be able to tell, I think, from like
whose
bone.
Baby it was.
Yeah, you can do DNA from like inside the bone marrow. If the baby was, if he was far, if he was far enough along,
it was far enough developed that there were actual bones,
you'd be able to tell,
and not just cartilage that wouldn't disintegrate. But I think she would have had to have been pretty far along.
Oh shit!
For that to be a possibility.
I love science.
I know.
This is a very science-heavy episode.
I know.
We were like, y'all don't know what yeast infections are.
Y'all know about, but no Carl Sagan. And that shaggin' wagon.
Amen. But yeah, I didn't know. I went back and forth between whether I wanted to tell you guys, but I was like, is Hitler have a crazy in love? I think I got to share it.
I mean, I would even think that Ava is also one in some ways, because like I've watched documentaries about that, and like it does make me wonder like what was going on with her that she just pretty much allowed him to treat her like garbage.
Oh yeah, it's so sad.
Stuck around through all of it, like, you know what I mean? And then like
I just found out today, I didn't know that he did actually marry her 48 hours before.
That's what I heard too. Is like they married like in the mountains or something. Like but I mean, but why? You know, he didn't love her. Like he treated her like garbage. So it's an interesting thing.
She was safe garbage, and I'm sure it's all she gives a shit about.
She was blonde, blue-eyed garbage, and that's all he gave a shit about.
Because that was the thing, is that all this was happening, is like it was very important for them to stick to the thing that it was a suicide, because it
but if his parents were uncle and niece, why does it fucking matter if him and his niece are like what does he really care?
Different times. And but her being dead in his apartment would have derailed his whole thing. So it was important for them to be like, it was suicide.
Well, then what? My
So
question
weird.
about that
We
is
don't
then,
know why.
like, if someone else did it, why would they do it in the house then? Like, why would they leave so many questions? Like,
Right.
because if someone else was going to plan that, which I would think would be the case, because it doesn't seem like Hitler does his own dirty work ever. But like, if one of his like henchmen did it, wouldn't it make more sense for them to like get her out of the house?
Right. And that's why I actually lean towards I think Hitler did it.
Did it himself? Like,
I
don't think he did.
I think they got into an argument.
I don't think
it was
he
in a
did.
rage.
Because if he went into this comatose-like state after he found
Guilt.
out, well,
I think he
that,
did actually love her.
I think he did too. And I think that when he found out, I think it was like, oh, fuck. That actually happened. That
like
went
I
through.
told them to do it, but
And it didn't.
now it really
Yeah, and
happened,
now it's real.
and it's settling.
I
in.
think
yeah.
I think it's a henchman situation.
I don't know. It's hard. It's like we'll never. I mean, well, I don't know if we'll ever know. I mean, I'd be interested to see the bones. You know,
Right.
that.
Yeah, when
God,
are they digging
it's-
this up? Because I'm
Well,
about to.
There's a fight.
Archaeology channel this
They
shit.
might
National
not.
Geographic.
Vienna doesn't want to disinter it or have those ties to Hitler
Sure.
in any ways. So they're
Well, nobody does.
Yeah.
but it is what it is.
it's history, and I feel like it's disrespectful to a young woman who was caught up in something that
did nothing.
Didn't-
Honestly, It's
yeah,
not really
and
her
it's just
fault.
like it's not her fault, and her life is now like shrouded in all this, and like her death means something, and it's difficult because obviously like there are millions
Right.
of
It's
deaths
it's
that
hard
came
to
after
feel that
her.
way. I mean,
It's
I
hard.
understand. I understand it, and like
But her death
and
matters.
It does matter, and it's hard for me to feel like. It's hard for me to feel like it doesn't, because of course it does, and it wasn't her fault, and like all of those things. But then my next thought is like in the scope of millions of
That's where I'm at.
deaths
Right.
at the
That's where I'm at.
hands of the Nazis. It's like in the big picture. I know that sounds like callous, but it's like in the big
That's where I'm
picture.
at.
But you get a
You
chance.
know?
You get a chance to actually have some answers,
Sure.
and to have
And-
some
and that's-
insight.
that
And
is-
that's
you
what
know?
I'm here for.
That's where I would be
don't
here
wanna
for.
so
say that-
close to somebody
Yeah.
before it all
I
really got
hesitate
started.
To say that her death matters in the weight of what I feel that you're saying, because
I understand.
it is
Yeah.
a lot to put on. It is a lot to put millions of people dying on one woman's shoulders. A woman who, you know what I mean? Like that's a
I know
fucking lot.
exactly what you're saying. Like her death matters as much as
Anyone's death.
anyone's
That's what I-
death,
that's what
and
I mean.
any
Yeah, yeah.
murder or like suspicious death where people have the right to know what happened.
Yes.
Like I absolutely believe that. Absolutely.
Exactly.
It was
And so
such
as
a
far as that
pivotal
goes,
point in history
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I mean, if anything, like I mean, it gives us.
Could this have changed the course of history? Is an insult to
We
the
need-
people who were lost in this. And I think
Right.
and I think that's where I feel like I'm coming from this is I feel like that we insult the loss of all those millions of people to say, well, if this thing had changed, if this one little thing, if this woman hadn't XYZ.
Yeah,
then
no, it wouldn't.
Well,
it wouldn't have changed. I
and
don't think it
can't-
would have
to
changed.
keep
put
to
that.
keep with
No.
our science theme, right? I mean, everything is a very careful balance of things. And is it true that like one little thing or another could have kept Hitler from doing what he did? You know, it's like a butterfly effect kind of situation.
Sure.
If Hitler had never gone to World War I and maybe didn't like get that kind of trauma, or if he didn't do this or he didn't do that, like any number of things could have changed the course of what happened.
Yes.
And so it's difficult to say like maybe if this hadn't happened in the way that it happened, then this other thing wouldn't have happened. You know?
However, my intrigue is there. The archaeology, science,
absolutely,
brain
the
in me.
history
I'm like, the
of
history
it.
brain in
I
me.
do want to know.
I am. I'm like,
I'm
dig her
intrigued.
up. Dig her up. Let's
Yeah,
find out.
yeah,
I want to.
yeah,
I want to
agreed.
read that whole like U.S. government report.
Agree.
Yes.
How much you
Hard.
want to
Yes.
sip the tea on that?
I just want Paul
Hell
Holes
yeah.
to read it to me in my.
Paul Holes. Yeah. When I'm
Read it
like
to me.
snuggled in for the night, I've got like a hot toddy.
earplugs.
Ready to snuggle.
Well,
in.
where do you go post Hitler?
Jesus.
I mean, what are you guys watching? I mean, I feel like we have to go like the complete polar opposite. Just like
Well, you guys are watching Queer Eye, which
Queer
is like
Eye.
I haven't
just
started it
finished
yet.
Queer Eye.
Season 4. I haven't started it
So
yet.
So good.
good.
Dude, honestly.
Yeah, if you want to be
I
reminded of the good of
love
humanity,
that show.
There you go.
Immediately watch Queer Eye because it will
Because
make your soul right again.
when you're talking about the Holocaust, you are reminded of how horrible people can
and then
be.
when you watch Queer Eye,
Then you watch Queer Eye and you're like, but also, humanity is capable
Yes.
of really good shit.
So
You know?
yeah, when you're done with this episode, go put on Queer Eye
Immediately, if not
immediately.
sooner.
Get a hug for your eyes
yeah.
and your ears.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? I have not started anything new because I've still been watching Ozark.
And
'cause-
binging trailers.
and-
I'm still
but I've
Veronica
been
Mars,
binging
yeah.
trailers. And guys, I put it on my Facebook. But the trailer for the new Harriet movie,
Dude. Okay.
chills.
Can
chills.
I talk about the nerdiest thing you've ever learned about me?
Amen. Yes.
Okay, right now. When I was in 4th and 5th grade, was obsessed, and my obsession started with biographies. We had in my library like these specific biographies of all these famous people, and I remember Harriet Tubman being one of my, well, that along with like the Anne Frank and all that, but that book, Harriet Tubman's story, +2 Ohio, Cincinnati,
Yeah, it's
Underground
a big
Railroad.
part of
It
the
was such a
Underground
big
Railroad.
part of our Ohio
History,
history.
yes.
That
Yeah.
Harriet Tubman was like a huge
And
part
you know
of our
what?
story.
As much as like they try and it's really a disservice to Black history that we only get 1 month and they cram in. They're like,
In,
you're
like,
gonna
the shortest.
learn about Martin Luther King and Harriet Tubman during this month.
Right.
That's it. And even then, we don't learn nearly enough about Harriet Tubman because this bitch did so much. Like, not only you learn that she escaped to freedom, you learn that she brought like 200 slaves back, back and forth
That's
via
fucking
the Underground
wild.
Railroad, which is already wild.
Yeah.
But then she was also like part of the Union Army and did like all kinds of shit on
Like
top of that.
spy
She was
shit.
like spy
I feel
shit.
like
She was a
maybe
spy.
Christina can back me up on this, but I feel like maybe from an Ohio history perspective, we had like, I know at least a year focused solely on Ohio history. So I feel like I actually learned
Yeah, yeah,
No,
we got a lot on
We
Harriet
didn't
Tubman.
have that
lot.
in like states history. We didn't have a lot of that.
You were almost in the War of Northern Aggression area though.
Well, okay, well, I had elementary school in Nevada, in Las
okay.
Vegas, which
Yeah.
they were not involved in the
At
Civil
all.
War at all.
No.
And then I was in middle school and high school in Missouri, which was half and half.
Yeah.
So Missouri was like the only state that was split.
Neutral.
And this is fun for people who are not from America. They might not know this, but like, Missouri was the only state that was split down the middle. They weren't neutral. It was like north.
It's not like Switzerland.
Yeah,
Right.
it was like the north half of Missouri fought for the Union and
yeah.
the southern half of Missouri, where I lived, fought for the Confederacy. So it was like the only state that did that. They
So you
like,
were in the War of Northern Aggression area.
yeah, the War of Northern Aggression.
I am not going to lie to you. I
shitty
remember
way
I
to
was
say
like
that.
30 something years old when I was today years old when I learned that term. I never in my entire
Well, because
life
yeah,
had
Ohio,
ever
Ohio
heard
is
that.
was solidly Union.
Oh, solid Union. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, yeah. People
Well,
in the
maybe not
South.
Cincinnati, but
Ooh, yikes!
Ooh,
Ooh, hot take!
Anthony.
Oh shit!
Ooh, Anthony
Getting
gonna get
spicy.
me.
He's gonna fight you.
you gonna get me.
But anyway, yeah, go watch that trailer. There's Janelle Monáe's in it. Leslie
Dude.
Odom Jr. from
Dude.
Hamilton is in it.
that trailer.
Amazing. And Cynthia
Cannot wait.
Erivo? What's her last name? She's
I have no
amazing.
idea.
She's amazing. She won a Tony for doing The Color Purple on Broadway.
Oh, right.
She is
yes.
so good.
Speaking of the
Brits coming in, stealing our jobs, There are so many British actors coming in and playing.
fucking immigrants.
Because like David Oyelowo played Martin Luther King Jr. and he's British too.
I got all the side eye for all these immigrants coming
in here,
stealing
stealing
my
our
jobs.
I really don't feel that way. It looks like she's
kidding.
going to do an
I'm
amazing
kidding.
job.
Yeah.
But,
no, I'm all
but
for it.
that
More
looks-
British people,
that
please
looks
come here.
so good. And then
And talk
we
to me.
scared the shit out of ourselves watching the It trailers.
I can't. I
So
can't.
good. They look
Yeah.
Woof.
so good.
Woof.
So down.
Woof. Woof.
Ready for It Part 2.
Yeah.
I'm ready for Harriet. I am stoked. I
too.
literally can't wait. I'll tell you what. I am ready to go see the fucking new movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh,
yeah.
You've been waiting for that for a while.
Dude, and I think it's out now, right? I'm
or
ready.
this weekend, I think.
Yeah, I think it's this weekend. You're
close.
right. Stoked.
Well, yeah, if you got something that you think we should watch, if you got more Fuck, Marry, Kill suggestions, if you just want to reach out, if you want to yell at me because the episode is just the clip and not the full episode, please go
Please
to...
do it directly at...
No. Go to myworstdatepodcast.com. It's our one-stop shop of a website, and it's fantastic. You can connect to our Facebook group, get on Patreon. You can do all the damn things. We really, really, really love interacting with you guys. So, and if you get a minute or two, go and rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. It really helps us out, and we love you guys so much. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.
This is a Glass Box Media podcast.